So she wants the story. I tell her the story, and then she says, "You shouldn't have jumped. My brother would have been alive." And
What
I'm
goes
like,
through your mind?
no wonder. Now I understood why I was treated the way I was treated during the funeral.
You're putting the pieces
Because
together.
I couldn't understand what had I done wrong.
Where everyone was called.
Yeah. And the duration I was in hospital, his mom didn't come see me.
Okay.
So now I began piecing things together. So Ka has gone back to his mom, and there were things that were in the house that belonged to me that she was refusing me. And I told his best friend, please talk to this woman, because me, if I talk to her, there's no respect. I'm going to have no decorum, and I'll tell her exactly what I think, because I'm also hurting.
Of course.
So please do this for me. So he went to talk to her. The things that I needed were brought to me. And life needed to start or go on or whatever I needed to do. So 6 weeks pregnancy, no husband, and life has just gotten real dark.
You slept in one world, you woke up in another.
Yeah.
Like.
Then remember, I've been a good girl. I have kept myself. And he was the one. I had found the one. I had found my soulmate. So now I'm wondering, hold on. Mungu, that's what you do to your good people. Deuces, man. Deuces. So now from denial, I went into, he's gone. Mungu,
You
did this. You did this. So my anger and my bitterness now changed into, how can a loving God,
Do that.
a faithful God, take away what I loved? So I started seeing a counselor. And the company I was working for at the time was very generous, because I was on news and I was transitioning from one company to another. I was serving my notice.
Okay.
So the company I was leaving came and said, we are with you. We are paying counseling sessions, just so that it can help you heal.
An amazing company.
So I started my sessions. And everyone has a way of coping and dealing with loss, yeah?
True.
Mine was reimagining that he's there. It used to help me sleep better at night. I used to wake up in the morning, I used to tell people, when they find me smiling, they're like, oh, you had a good night? Yeah. Why? He was here at night. I wasn't crazy. It was just my brain trying to cope. And for some reason, the room I used to sleep in, every night, the door used to open by itself. And there was a strange wind.
You'd feel like it's his
so now that was me trying to just help myself cope.
Yes, and it's his spirit coming in.
To check on me and how I'm doing.
Yeah.
So one session I went to speak, and she asked me, how are you doing and what do you want to talk about? And I told her, the other day I was just thinking that the day I go into labor, he's going to show up in the delivery room and say, surprise!
Oh.
For me, it was funny.
Yeah.
The counselor flipped. You cannot be taking us back 10 steps back and we're trying to move forward.
What do you mean?
I looked at her and I'm like, this is my way of dealing.
Exactly.
You've asked me how I'm doing.
Exactly.
This is where I'm at.
And you cannot get mad at me for where I'm at.
Yeah. So, you can't push you
Exactly.
and how you would heal on me.
Exactly. You can't push someone into
That session made me cry. I cried and I told her, in fact, we are done. I'm not coming for another session. And by then I think I'd been paid for 3 months session or something. I told her, have the money.
It didn't make sense.
That was the end of my counseling sessions. And then I went home and I told God, you did this, fix it. With a lot of bitterness in my heart. And then I decided, you know what? I am pregnant. And that's a good thing. Because they're small babies growing in me. That's what I'm focusing on. It was fun. So I immersed into baby mama, about to give birth. Enjoy, I will deal with you later. You're too painful to deal with right now. And then I transitioned into a new job. People didn't know my story. So, unless you ask, me, I'll smile. Behind every smile, there is a story. So I'd smile. And when it got too hard, I'd go to the toilet, break down, wipe my tears, adjust myself, go back and work. And people used to get so jazzed. They're twins. Oh, so I used to live on that.
And no one was asking, where's the father?
No.
Oh, thank God.
But the management of the new company knew.
Okay.
They had been told, because remember I was on news and they had been told this has happened to her. They even came to see me in hospital.
Okay.
Then they told me, and this is where God works, but you won't see him because you're angry and you're bitter.
Yeah.
But they came to the hospital and they told me, we still want you, but we need you okay.
Wow.
Take as much part-time as you need.
Amazing.
To deal with this loss. When you're ready, tell us. We will receive you.
Oh, wow.
So it took a whole month.
That's another miracle.
Yeah. So when I went home, I went to my parents' house. They used to go to work. I'm left in the house. And I replayed that day.
Oh, no.
And I replayed over and over and over and over again. My dad used to come home. And every day without fail, I would ask him, Daddy, what if I didn't jump?
Oh, no.
What if I did this? What if I did this? What if I did this? And the same answer would be, you would have been dead and you would have been dead.
Yeah.
Or they would have raped you the way they wanted and
And
made him
kill
watch
both of you.
and then kill you,
Yeah.
make him watch and then kill him.
Exactly.
And he told me, the bottom line is,
You're here.
there was not going to be any other way but this way. It sucks, I know, but it has to be the life that you accept and accept that he's gone, and we deal one day at a time. So one day
at a time.
But you see, he's my dad, so yeah, he'll say it and then it will come out because then tomorrow I'll ask the same
You're
thing.
saying that because you're my dad.
You know. So one day in this 1 month break that I have decided to take, a former colleague and manager calls me and she introduces herself and she tells me, I am so and so, and I know you have been called, you've been told all the stories of this world. I'm not here to tell you sorry. I'm not calling to tell you sorry because you've had enough of it.
Okay.
I'm calling you to tell you, you need to stop asking God, why you? And start asking, what do I do now?
Wow.
She snapped me out of her zone.
Call.
She snapped me out of her zone because I was on why. Why me? Why? And that's why every day, like a roll call, my dad would sit near me and he knew she's going to ask me, what if? And she'd play out these scenarios.
But I have to say, your dad was very patient, unlike the counselor.
Yes.
He didn't say, tutakuwa tunasema hii every day.
But for him, that's the only way he knew how to be there for me.
And he was there.
To listen to what I have to say. Even if it's gibberish, he'll listen. That call snapped me out of it. And I told my mom after that day, I told my mom, I'm going back to Nairobi and I'm going back to work. She's like, so soon, are you ready? I'm like, imagine, Mommy, I've tried. I thought that maybe by sitting here, he'll come back. And he's not coming back. I need to go
Let us
somehow.
move on.
Because I'm having a migraine every day. Because all I'm doing is replaying that day. And I'm not going to get unstuck if I stay here.
No.
So let me go back to the real world and somehow figure out how to move on. They're like, okay, but we're a call away. I'm like, okay, sir. I go back. I went, signed my forms that I'm not being received. Excuse me. This company was so kind. They paid me for that 1 month I was not.
Oh, wow.
They considered me part and parcel of them.
Oh, wow. Wow.
See God, yeah? So I joined, and that time now my belly is showing. And so now I was thriving on, I am a pregnant twin mom.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So everyone will be like, they're twins, oh! And then it was round and nice and big. It was fun going into the office. When I would go back home into my 4-walled room, I would have to deal with my demons. So it was fun being at work. Because at work I'm focusing on Irene's issues.
Yeah.
Alice's issues and all these other people.
Yeah.
So it used to shorten my days being at work.
By yourself.
Then when I go back to the house, I moved into my cousin's house.
Okay.
Because now they knew if she's by herself, that's also another.
Yeah, that would be chaotic.
Yeah, it's depression, borderline.
Very easy.
Borderline, many things can happen when she's alone.
Yeah.
So let her stay with family. So I moved into my cousin's house. Now my cousins knew how to read me. So the days I would go home and I sit amongst them, I had a good day. When I come home and I go straight to my room, there was only one cousin I used to talk to.
Yeah.
Like open up and tell her exactly what it is.
Yeah.
She used to live away from us. So it should be called.
You need to talk to Joy.
Today is that day. She's like, I'm coming.
Okay.
Then she'll come and sit next to me and ask me, how's your day? I'm like, okay, what's up? And I would talk about Ken. Anything, as in she would sit and just listen to whatever I have to say. I would remember things that we used to do together. And then we talk. Now when I go quiet, she's like, how are you feeling? I'm like, better. She's like, okay, are you going to sleep well? I'm like, yeah. Then she goes back to her house.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah. That's how my support system, for some reason, knew. They knew how to, instead of asking her, are you okay? They'll just read my body language and know. Step in. And it's not you, it's her. It's her she's opening up to. So let's leverage on that. Then work now started catching up, and I started actually enjoying going to work. And then the year ended. So come January, my pelvic bone was on fire. I couldn't walk. It was getting tedious to go to work. And then I went and sat with my doctor and I told him, I am tired. I want rest. And he told me, you know, we need to prepare you because I don't think you'll push. I'm like, no, doctor, I am pushing. I have strength. Then he told me, you know, these children are in 2 sacks. Meaning you have to labor twice.
Yeah.
With this generation and with this technology that we have, please don't risk having a brain challenged child because of the delay in the stomach. So please consider, I would need you to consider CS. So I went home, thought about it. The next clinic I had, I told him, okay, fine, we'll do CS, but we're going to do it on 7th February.
Okay.
Then he's like, wow, I've never had someone who has given me they give me normally a duration, like a week. I told him, that's because their father's birthday is on 7th February.
Oh, wow.
And he's dead. So I choose to remember him through them on his birthday. He was like, sorry, what?
Yeah. That's it.
I've been treating you and you don't show. You don't show. You're always bubbly. You're one of the most energetic pregnant women I've ever dealt with. I'm like, it's because I don't want those emotions I'm carrying to be what my children will have.
Carry,
Because what we feel, they feel.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Exactly.
And he had also mentioned that one of the clinics that be careful with your emotions so that they don't spread the negative ones to your child.
Yeah.
So now I used to focus on even a fly pitain. I laugh. You know, anything small would make me laugh. So that's how I coped through the pregnancy. But am I dealing with joy?
No.
Joy was put under the rug.
You're keeping yourself busy so that you don't attend to
her. So now he gave me 2 weeks bed rest, and he told me after 2 weeks come back, I add you another one until you give birth. Because anyway, if your pelvic bone is on fire, there's nothing much you can do. So we went, we stayed home, and I had good days, I had bad days. There are days I would cry and miss him. There are days I would have my back paining and I would wish he's there, you know. I would see couples in church, and that used to break my heart because I'm like, he's not there.
Yeah.
You know,
that could have been us. That used to be us.
I know. Then the babies are born. CS, and it went well. Healthy babies, 3.2 kilos, 2.8 kilos. Who would have thought with all that ordeal, I had such healthy babies.
Yeah.
Then now, work started. Now that's where the work is, because now the first year is the hardest in terms of raising twins. Remember?
Believe me, I know. My mom had, our last ones are twins, and
you've seen. Yes. So the first year is the hardest. Remember, Joy is still somewhere packed.
Yeah.
So one day, my mom comes and sees how tired I was. The girls are around 10 months old. They've refused to breastfeed. So now I'm expressing milk, and then we bottle feed or we give them none. So she looked at me and she told me, you're looking really tired. So I'm taking you the babies and the nanny, and I'm giving you the house to yourself. Just take a breather for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Will you be okay? I'm like, okay. Those 2 weeks, I used to go to work. spend the day, thrive. Come back home, when I'm washing the dishes, I just break down and I cry. I cried for 2 weeks. My mom would call me every day, and every time she called me, she could sense she's been crying. She asked me, are you missing the babies? I'm like, this is nothing to do with the children. This is Joy coming out of her closet, and she has said, by the way, stop ignoring me and address me now. So addressing Joy looked like this. Cry. Miss him. Long for him. Do whatever you need, but cry and let it out. There are people who would call and I would be able to open up. Because one of the things, after being rejected and being treated the way I was treated by his family, I caved in and I closed up.
That's a lot.
So opening up to people, unless I really know you, you will hardly tell what's going on. So, see, now we are raising children, they're almost 1 year old. At year 1, my mom asked me, are you going to have a birthday? I told her no. They'll probably not remember this birthday. They're just fun. So the monies I had saved up, I went on holiday and put my feet up on. I told God, I have not killed them and I have not killed myself. That
and it's been a year.
And it's 1 year. We are still strong.
We are still here.
Let me tell you, my mantra from that day was, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if I did kill them, because I remember there's once I got into postnatal depression, and there's once my baby was crying and I couldn't tell why. You don't know, you don't what, and I shook her and was like, stop crying. Then I caught myself and I looked at her and I went and told my mom, don't give me back this child. And I slept for 8 hours after that. Because I could tell.
It was not going well.
Or sometimes they start crying and we cry together. My mom's like, what's wrong? I don't know.
I did that myself.
They're just crying. I don't know what's wrong.
Too familiar.
So, I'm grieving. I have a CS wound. I have postpartum depression.
You can't tell what's going
My
on
milk is not enough. As in, there was too much going on. So after my mom took them the first time, that's when I could finally catch up with me. And I couldn't recognize me. Because I was so hurt. I was so bitter. I was so angry. My friend recently explained trauma to me in a way that made sense to me. He told me trauma is like your brain is not responsible for your happiness. Your brain is built to protect you.
For survival,
Okay? So, when you go through a traumatic experience, your brain puts it in a nini and then throws it away in a subconscious. Until you're ready to unpack it, it just packages it and throws it into...
It's its own way of protecting
me. Because then it's too much to deal with at that time. So I had packed me. And when I started now facing me, it was painful. That's when I told God, by the way, deuces. Me and you, we are done. I can't be this nice to you.
How could you
I can't be
this
such a good girl in my youth. And then this is how you do me.
How did you?
A loving God can't do you like this.
No.
And I decided I'm done. I never used to pray. People used to ask me, have you prayed today? I'm like, for what? People used to come,
God.
Ati, everything works for all your good. I'm like,
take that elsewhere.
Say the person who has not been left to raise children. You know, I never used to speak it out, but in my heart, I'm like, stop being spiri with me. That's the last thing I want to hear, that God is there. Because in my questioning, I'm like, where were you? Why did you let it happen? So, second year, are you praying? No. The girl started walking, and my mom, I think my mom's prayers and everyone else who was praying is what kept me sane. Because I never used to pray. So when they started walking, the budget was, the amount of money I was making and their budget was not making sense. The math wasn't mathing. So these
are two babies.
And then they rejected all diapers. Me had expensive babies. They rejected all diapers but Huggies.
Wow. Okay.
I was like, you people are expensive.
Yeah.
And then they were on formula.
Oh.
And
then there are two.
And there are two. My math was not mathing. So now, I got people along the way that were just angels. There's a guy for 6 months faithful used to send me money and tell me, this is for your diaper run.
Oh, wow.
This is for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
These girls were on Huggies until they got off Huggies.
Amazing.
The first time I bought diapers was after month 8 or after 1 year or so.
Oh, amazing,
Yeah?
amazing.
So God stepped in and stepped up, you know.
But of course, in that space, you are not.
Me, I'm not seeing it. And then when I wanted shoes for the girls, I would tell my mom, oh, the girls need shoes. I don't have budget for shoes. Then she tells me, why are you telling me? Tell their father. And I'm like, funny, haha. She's like, no. You know what I mean.
She wanted you to reconnect with God.
Tell God what they need. Stop running to people and tell God. So I was like, okay, fine. So this is how to do it. So, watu wako wanahitaji viatu. So siwa sort. Thanks. Nalala. That's where we were at with God. And for some reason, he would listen and hear me because that's where I'm at. So,
and we're told God meets us at
where we are at. Yeah. And he won't expect you to be different or to be speedy. He will deal with you just the way you are.
Exactly where we are at.
Yeah. So when I told him that, like, for a week, the next week, my friend tells me, you know, I said I'd be the favorite uncle. I'm coming to see them on Sunday. What do I bring? I'm like, shoes.
Oh, wow.
My cousin told me, I've not seen my nieces. I'm coming on Saturday. What do I bring? Shoes. Wow. So in a weekend, they each had 3 pairs of shoes.
Oh, wow.
You know? So I was like,
not only did God supply, he oversupplied.
And some, yes. Then I was like, so that's how you work. Okay, fine. So that's how I'm going to engage with you. I'm going to engage with you for them. Not for me, for them. Me and you.
But yeah, when I need something
for them, I'm good.
Yeah.
So that's how I managed the first couple of years I'm talking to him, but it's for
through
them.
the children.
It's for them. Me, I'm good. I'll deal with myself. I'll sort myself out. And then after they started school, I started reconnecting with myself because now the first 3 years was all about them.
Yeah.
It was either I'm going to work, then I go home. Go to work, go home, go to work, go home. And I now remember I'd said to Deuces, I willingly and strategically placed myself in the wrong company. Me, this is I'm going back to God. I'm like, that's what you do. Me, I've gone to the world. Maybe the world is kinder than you are. And all the things I didn't do when I was younger, I would go out. I can drink mzinga and I will stand. As in, you know, I became that girl.
The one you had avoided, like
the one I ran away from. I was like, yo, come, let's do this. And we went. And I met very interesting people. I met a guy. To this day, we are very good friends. That guy loved me. Roho safi, as in bure tu.
Yeah.
But he had seen how closed up I was.
Yeah.
So for him, it was, let me pull her out of this shell that she's in. And for some reason, he's the only one I used to talk to. And he's the only one I allowed to see my children when I'm not there.
Oh, wow.
He used to call me, Uko, I'm working late. Okay, sir. Nimepeleka pizza. Nimeenda kucheza na watu wengi.
Wow.
And he would just run on the floor with them.
Wow.
And then when he's done, he goes home. In fact, the other day we were catching up and he was like, imagine, I think I needed to be in your life at that time.
Yeah.
Because that's what you needed. And I didn't realize it until later that he was one of the angels that were surrounding me.
God sent you.
That at that point, because I was so closed up and so guarded, he used him somehow to open up, but not to everyone but him only. And he used to show up when whatever we needed. Somehow he would show up.
Oh wow!
You know. So life goes on. Life is happening. Then one day I got a message, and the message was I'm thanking God that you are healing, that you are happy. And it was, I think, on the 27th. Every 27th of August, I would remember that dark day. But for this particular year, I can't even remember which year that was. I didn't remember. As in, it was just another normal day. It's her who reminded me with a message.
Wow.
I called my mom and I'm like, Mom, imagine I didn't remember today.
Wow. Yeah. That's
What is today?
Deal.
I'm like, even you haven't remembered.
Big deal.
We're like, finally, it's past us. We are moving. And I could smile, I could laugh again. Not ile andani, you know? So in my head I told myself, I am good. See tumediro. Then I started even trying to date. The first time I went for a date, it was a disaster. Why? 3 hours later, all I could talk about was Ken. That's when I decided this
and
dating
no one
thing
can
is not for me.
compete with someone who's not even there.
Yeah. And he has set a bar, right?
Oh yes, a very high bar.
So I called myself to a meeting and I said, unless you heal, you're not opening up. Why? Because it's unfair. It's not the other guy's role to come and heal me.
Yeah.
That I
totally
have to put in the work, and I have to get to the place where I heal my heart so that I'm able to love someone else. So I closed that chapter for a bit. Coffee date, nini, but I would tell people, me, I'm not ready. I'm not looking for a relationship or anything. Yeah. But yeah, we can have coffee, we can have friends, we can be friends. Then I even, there was a time even Jehovah Witness. That one my friend told me, at you went on a date with who? Joy, there's this forum I need you to attend. I was taken to a forum by her. And in this forum, it was a forum called PLF, Purpose and Life Forum. Okay. There was this topic that broke me on fatherhood. That class I cried from 9 to, I think, 1 p.m. Oh. Because it was touching on what my girls were not experiencing. And I didn't know I can't be a father. No. I'm just a mom. Yeah, I can only be a mother. I didn't know who's going to fill that void. Yeah. And even if I tell them, call on God, they're like, but where is he? We can't see him. When they went to school, that's when they realized there's something missing. Before that, we were fine. Then one day they were like, Mommy, do we have a dad? Oh, wow. When they were 3. Oh, and I had to tell them the truth. But I told them the truth to the level they could understand. And one day they sat down, and funny thing is, we always underestimate children. They deal. Don't lie to them. Speak the truth. Just tell them what happened. Because I told them, and then one day we were just chilling, and then my daughter asked me, but those men are mean. Why couldn't they just ask to or borrow money? See, we could have shared, and then they couldn't have killed my dad. Then that's when I realized they're actually trying to process.
They're grasping what you're telling them.
Yeah. Now that was one. Now my children are as different as night and day. So the other one had her way of dealing was she would wake up one morning and she's moody or she's moping. And when you ask her, she says, I want my dad. Please note, they never met him. Oh my God. But he used to speak to them when they were the tummy. Oh, but remember, they were only how many weeks old? 6. That bond is strong. And for a while, all I could do is hold her and tell her, I hear you, baby, I hear you. And I'm sorry. I don't know how to protect you. I don't know how to take that, whatever that feeling is. I don't know. I don't know. But I promise you that I'm here. Available, I'm there. So we didn't go for therapy with them, but I used to talk to them. So what I decided was, I'll be your shrink. Ask me whatever you want about your dad.
Ask all the questions.
How was he like? What did he like? I told him all those stories. Then sometime, I think in 2017, they stopped asking. And they were fine. Okay. I was like, okay, I'm hoping that means you are okay. Because me, I still haven't dealt.
Not that you're closing up.
Me, I still haven't dealt. But remember, I'm opening up to people now. I've gone for the PLF session. I've reconnected with God. I'm at a happy place. And I'm helping people.